Okay, we are reviewing for our cumulative test, and it basically was about powers, like things like x to the second, and put it all to the third, that kind of stuff. And it was also about absolute values. So this would be a really tough test because it's only got 2 questions. 1 and 2, everybody make some room in between them. But if you get both of them right, you have an A+. If you only get one of them right, you'd have an F. And if you get both of them wrong, then it's worse than an F, whatever that is. I guess it's a G. What? Anyway. Okay, so here we go. 2 x to the negative third y all over 16 x squared times y squared to the third. Oh, come on now. That's not that big. That you can just kind of do, right? And then it all of a sudden turns into y. Well, I'm not going to say it. That's your problem. You can handle this. And I know it's a little bit of a challenging one, but I think you can. All right. Moving on to number 2. On number 2, it's an absolute value, and you remember you want to get this clump. I'll even put them inside red absolute values. You want this clump to be alone before you start, because a lot of kids make their mistake. Let me see. There we go. A lot of kids make their mistake in this by trying to make 2 equations right away, and you can't. On number 2, you're going to want to show a little bit of work. Now, this is so difficult that I'm going to say I would expect only 1 person in this room, maybe 2, to be perfect. But try to be that person. Imagine for a moment that I was a crazy billionaire and I said, if you get... Where's the money? Yeah, that's what I'm going to say is I'm going to show you the money. If you could get both of these right, I will give you $1 million. Now, I am not actually a rich billionaire, and therefore it's not actually going to work. But imagine for a second that I was. Try that hard on these 2 questions. All right, just a reminder on number 2. Your very first step should not be to split it into equations. All right. Got a question? All right. I'm going to pause for a second. All right, so here we go. Answers. Number 1, first of all, this 16 breaks up into an 8 times 2. Why did I do that? So the what's a what? What I meant was I have a 2 and an 8 times 2. So the what's will what? The 2's will cancel. Sorry, I guess I was asking you to read the teacher's mind. That's not fair. All right, so there's an 8 on the bottom. Then these aren't happy, so they go down and join with the other x's. There were already 2 down in the basement, so now there's x to the 5. How many had the x to the 5 part right? Okay, good. Next, the y's. This is y to the, well, in that kind you multiply. Y to the 6, but there's a y to the 1 on top. So 1 cancels off, and it's y to the 5. And if there's nothing left on top, there's still a 1 there. That was a tough one. Did anybody get all the pieces right? Sweet. 2 people. All right. But I get that was a tough one. I do. I just thought I would throw you a tough one instead of just a bunch of easy ones. All right. Next thing is, who knew to start with adding 1 to both sides? Raise your hand if you knew that that was the first step. All right. That's almost everybody. Okay, good. Then, after you do that, you get 7 absolute value 2x minus 3 equals 14. And then that's setting up really nice, because when you divide by 7, wait a minute, some kids are going, why didn't you split it? You can't split it until the clump is alone. This is the clump right here. Has to be alone first. Now it's alone. Now we can split it. And now we split it into 2 things. 2x minus 3 equals 2. And 2x minus 3 equals negative 2. And then you solve 2 little mini equations from there. Plus 3, draw the line. 2x equals 5. And then final answer on that one, x equals 5 over 2. And on this one, plus 3, and I got 2x equals 1. And divide by 2, x equals 1/2. I know, those were tough. But instead of a bunch of easy ones, there were 2 tough ones. Okay, did anybody pull off 2 for 2? Sweet. If you could pull off those 2, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so there's our review. Now I'm going to do a couple off your worksheet. Are we ready to give the worksheets back to them? Are they already got them back? Yeah. Sweet. Okay, now everybody go to the odds from yesterday. We're already done with. The evens are next. Do not throw those paper balls. You can hold them for later until I'm done with the video. Okay, for right now, get to the white sheet, the evens, and would you read me number 2, please, sir?
X to the 5th power and x to the 5th power.
Is that it?
Yep.
See, that's just a little easy one. It is good to just do it one little piece at a time. So, Mr. R, do you know on that kind if we add the 5 and 10 or multiply the 5 and 10? What do you think? X to the... You do add them, and it's x to the 15. Very good. And if you weren't sure, you could always explode them and go, that's 5 x's. That's 10 x's. And then I hope you get the idea that, oh, looks like a whole bunch of x's. That's x to the 15, because there's 10 here and 5 there, makes x to the 15. My point is you don't have to just guess whether you should add them or whether you should multiply them. Think about it. Does it make any sense at all that it would be x to the 50? Because that's what you get if you multiply them. So once you see them written out, I hope you can see that couldn't be 50 things, could it? It could be 15 things.
Yeah, there's a multiply. So why is that added?
Because x to the 5th means a bunch of x's. How many?
Yeah,
5.
but there's still a times sign.
Yes, but this is a time sign in between every single one of them. That's what x to the 5th means. And this is what x to the 10th means. You're going to make me write all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it's a times in between them, right? There, see? X to the 15th. All right, moving on. Would you read me number 4, Mr. W.R.? That was 2. Okay, read me number 4. Nice. Okay. Remember me saying that you just have to do one little step at a time? So now, what is 3 to the 3rd? That means this. 7, 27. 27. And then this x, I'm going to do it in blue. This x to the 1 has to be put to the 3rd. Do you get that's just x to the 3rd? Focus, focus. With me. Number 4. We're on the x's part. X to the 3rd. And then y to the 4th has to be put to the 3rd. And that's going to be y to the, do I add those kind or multiply those kind? Multiply those kind. 12ths. Very good. Then, I'll do it in green. This to the this. One little step at a time. X to the... Nope. 2 and 6 can't make 15. Think about that. X to the 12. That's all right. It's all right. We all make mistakes, including me, that's for sure. Oh, okay. Y to the 3rd to the 6th. Y to the 18. Now I should put together the things that are alike. And this are alike. And this are alike. The x's, you know. And so your final answer you can get. I think I shouldn't help you anymore on that. All right, now let's flip to the back side. And I'll do one. I'll leave this up here in case you haven't got a chance to catch up on number 4 yet, because that's going to be off the screen soon. And then we're going to do one of the evens off the back side. I'd like to start with number 18. Everybody look at number 18. Actually, it's not, because by the time you get the clump alone, I'll do 22 with you. That's fine. Number 22 is not a no solution. I know what you're thinking. There's a negative over there. But by the time you get this clump here alone, I get it. You're seeing that and going, wait a minute, absolute values can't be negative. You're right. Oh, is there a mistake in there? Okay. 3, not 13. X, you mean? The X? Thank you. Okay, good. I know you're thinking, and it's good that you are, that absolute values can't be negative. But by the time we get the clump alone, we've gotten rid of this and this, then the absolute value won't be negative. So the answer to this is not no solution. The first step is add 3. Negative 1, absolute value 3x plus 5 equals negative 8. Then, how come that 8's not negative anymore? You're going to divide by negative 1. Thank you. That's a much better answer. Divide by negative 1. Now the clump is alone. This is the part, once you get it alone, then you can divide it into 2 parts. You heard of divide and conquer? That was Alexander the Great's strategy for conquering countries. Is if he could divide it up into parts and beat one little part at a time, it wouldn't be that bad. And it worked really well for him. He conquered the world. So we're dividing this up into 2 parts. 3x minus 5 equals 8. And 3x minus 5 equals negative 8. I'm going to leave it there, and I think you can take it from there. That's what our review test, called the cumulative number 4, is about. We're going to have it tomorrow. And that's all I got for you for today.